Hola amigos y amigas, you are now with Jocelyn, and this is our weekly energy reading for the week ahead, and I'm so grateful you're here. I always set the intention that those who are meant to receive these messages align with this reading. So if you aligned with this reading, then there may be a message that you are meant to hear. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. And if you are new here, welcome as well. I'm so grateful you are all here. This energy reading is intended for us to just gain a deeper understanding and higher awareness of what is to come in this coming week and how we can best navigate it as the best possible versions of ourselves, as our higher selves. So this is just an overall energy reading where we're going to be gaining clarity for the week to come. And I do feel called to do a deep breath together. So let's go ahead and do that and just ground ourselves in this present moment. And just a disclaimer, I do live in the city. I have my windows open, so you may hear some noises in the background, but we're gonna remain centered and grounded throughout this reading. So go ahead and just get comfortable. Put your hand over your heart if you feel called to really just tune into your body and take a deep inhale. Pause at the top and exhale. Okay, let's get into this reading. I'm so honored to be channeling these messages for us. Let me turn on this incense, which serves as my timer and also just as some added cleansing. So what's the overall energy for the week to come? What is the overall energy for the week to come? Universe, angels, ancestors, spirit guides. What is the overall energy for the week to come? What is the overall energy for the week to come? What is the overall energy for the week to come? Okay. All right. So I don't think we have a full moon lunation this coming week. It's on the 20th, and I don't think we get to the 20th this week yet. Time is going really fast, so I didn't check the calendar. But the overall energy for this week, we got the Hermit to retreat and recharge, and we also got the Warrior to be fearless and stand strong. So it looks like this week is going to be one of those weeks where we really have to focus on just replenishing and re-energizing ourselves. If you have been feeling depleted, if you have been feeling just kind of scattered all over the place, if you have been feeling uprooted and unearthed, perhaps you are really tuned into the news, perhaps you found yourself addicted to scrolling on social media lately, perhaps you've had some really tough conversations, realizations, perhaps you're just really in the midst of some shadow work and healing, whatever the case may be, allow yourself to embody the Hermit energy and really come into yourself and really just tap in, right? We often hear in this spiritual space and in our spiritual journey that it's so important to just turn inward, right? It is in turning inward where we realize that all is well, that all is happening as it is meant to. And it's important for us to allow ourselves to retreat into solitude, to retreat to just focusing on ourselves and turning inward as often as possible and as often as needed. And you don't even have to be in solitude to really embody this Hermit energy, to where you can retreat and recharge yourself. You can get to the point where you can retreat and turn inward in any environment, in any situation. And that is what we're being encouraged to do this week. So the world around us, y'all, is going to continue to be dismantled. It's going to continue to fall apart. It's going to continue to experience breakdowns so that we can get to the breakthroughs. So we're not only seeing this in our own individual lives, but we're seeing this in the lives around us, in the communities around us, in the societies around us, the governments, all of that. And in addition to the importance of us turning inward and retreating and recharging as often as needed, and really I feel like this reading is I feel like it just has like this gentle reminder energy. It feels like this week, this reading is gonna just serve as like gentle reminder, stay grounded, stay centered, all is well, turn inward as often as possible so you're not getting sucked in to all of these energies, all of these all of this stuff that's just going on, right? We have so much accessibility to know what is going on in the world and know what's going on in other people's lives, and it's like a double-edged sword, right? So we just have to be mindful of what we're engaging in and what we're allowing to influence and impact us. But as things continue to shift and transform and transition and change, we've got to be warriors. We've got to be fearless. We've got to stand strong. And I feel like this applies in many different ways. If you feel like you are currently experiencing your own awakening, your own self-evolution, and you feel like there's a lot of uncertainty, you feel like you're not really sure how things are going to work out, perhaps you've already been on this path of reinventing yourself in some way, shape, or form, and you're still not receiving the clarity or the moves that you've really been needing, right? Be fearless, stand strong, be really rooted in your conviction that this is what you're meant to do, this is what you've decided to do, this is your decision, this is where you're headed towards, this is what you believe in, these are your values, this is who you are, this is who you're becoming, this is who you are no longer, this is what your boundaries are. Like whatever it is that is really coming to the forefront as something that really matters in the season of your life right now, stand strong in that and be a warrior. Right? We're hearing a lot of this like embody the main character energy, right? And I feel like a lot of that, especially during these times, is really just like be the warrior. Envision yourself as a warrior who can really stand strong and tall in anything. And this isn't like the toxicity of like you have to be strong all the time and you have to be alone and you have to like, you know, not crumble. And no, this is more so just like know that you are divinely protected, know that you are divinely guided, know that you are divinely supported, and you truly don't need to worry. You truly don't need to stress. And you can stand tall in that faith, right? So let's continue to see how this reading unfolds. Should any challenges or obstacles arise, what energy do we align with? Should any challenges or obstacles arise, what energy do we align with? Should any challenges or obstacles arise, what energy do we align with? Okay, beautiful. So we've actually got a full moon in one of these cards, and we've also got some more solitude kind of coming up in the imagery of one of these cards. So we've got truth. We've got truth here, and just a gentle reminder that all of the dismantling that is taking place right now is really holding space for truth, right? That's really what all of this is. All that has been rooted in a lie, all that is not rooted in just the pure truth and purity and honesty is falling apart. Whether that's in the world, in the systems, in our jobs, in corporations, in our own lives, in our own relationships. Everything that isn't honest and real and true is really, really being tested right now. And so all of that breaking down is to align us to a more truthful and honest and real and pure world, life, community, society. And so that is what we are being really, really called to focus on when any challenges or obstacles arise, is realizing that those challenges and obstacles are probably trying to guide you towards more truth in your life. And it really is all about shifting your perspective, right? This is something that I bring up often in these energy readings, is the importance of allowing yourself to really shift your perspective when you feel like you are stuck in an environment, situation, challenge, obstacle, whatever it is. Shift your perspective if you don't feel like you have control in shifting the experience. Because in simply shifting your perspective, you can shift the whole experience. And us remembering that truth is something that we really need to be prioritizing as we ascend to these higher timelines, it really just puts things into perspective of like, okay, this may be challenging, this may be hard, this may feel like everything's falling apart, this may feel just really tough, but it's aligning me towards the truth. And the truth is really, really what matters most, and what I am holding space for, what I am calling in, what I am affirming, and what I am worthy of. We are worthy of truth in our lives, in every aspect of our lives. So just remember that as you approach any obstacles or challenges, or any challenges or obstacles approach you, is like, bring your attention back towards the truth of the situation, of the matter, of the experience. And we also got openness, right? And I feel like that is just us allowing ourselves to be open and vulnerable to the experiences that are making themselves known to us, and really continuing to practice just radical acceptance and surrendering to just how life is unfolding as it is. And it was either in the last reading or the one before where we were really being called and reminded and encouraged to really, all in all, just appreciate the journey and less on the results, right? Just not be so attached on the results, because it's impacting the way that we are experiencing what is unfolding right in front of us. So it's just this openness to surrender to how life is unfolding in front of you, and allowing it to teach you, right? When I know vulnerability and experiencing life vulnerably in a world where it seems like it's better to be strong and guarded, like not only are we ascending to higher timelines where truth is a priority, but we're also ascending to higher timelines where openness, vulnerability is the way. And that's what we're being reminded of, should any challenges or obstacles arise this week, is just remaining open, really tuning into the experience and not taking it personally, just experiencing life as it is unfolding, and making sure that the way that we are seeing it is rooted in truth, not in ego, not in fear, just in truth. And remaining open to the lessons that are making themselves known to us and learning them. And I find it beautiful that we have the full moon here, because we do have a full moon coming up. I don't, again, think it's this week, but the following, like early next week. And full moons are all about just like shedding light on the truth, right? Because the moon has come full circle, and because it is this full body of light, think of it as like a spotlight that has all of its energy, all of its power and ability to like really shed light on any and all darkness. So it's just like this continuous showcase of like the truth. And because the full moon is this full body of light that is shedding light on the truths in our lives, in our own ways, let's embody the full moons within us. Let's embody the fullness of light within us to allow ourselves to shed light on the own darkness and shadows and lies in our own lives, right? I do want to look into the openness card. I think it's actually the first time that I pull this card, and it's so beautiful, so I just want to look into it. Be open to receiving signs. Be still, do nothing, be open, breathe, relax completely and thoroughly, incubate your dreams for the future. If you're trying to make a decision, take the time to watch for signs and listen to whispers of the universe. Watch your dreams for messages, become the sacred watcher. So just really be observant, observe life as it unfolds, as I was saying, rather than becoming engaged in it. And that's what I meant by just not taking things personally and not really attaching ourselves to experiences, is just really taking this stance of like, okay, this is happening. What is this trying to teach me? And is my response rooted in truth, or is it rooted in fear? What is it rooted in? Just like really kind of taking that role, that seat of the observer, the witness of the life unfolding right in front of you. Be open to what the universe has in store for you. Be receptive to messages from your soul. So yeah, beautiful. Let's look at what it is that we need to heal. What do we need to heal this week? Universe, angels, ancestors, spirit guides. What do we focus on healing? 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 We may only have that one card that jumped out. Oh. Okay. So this is the first one that jumped out. There's another one way over there. Hold on. Okay. So the first card that jumped out and really was like, yo, pay attention to me, is Ancient Wisdom. This is the first time that I pull this card. I think this is the first time that I actually pull all of these cards. These are all so beautiful. So we've got Ancient Wisdom, we've got Joy, and we've got Unlimited Possibilities, right? We really are in a space right now. I think, you know, when there's so much change going on in our lives and in the lives around us, it can be scary because there's so much unknown. But really, like, the perspective shift there is to realize that in the unknown, there's so much possibility. There's so many different directions that we can take, and none of them are necessarily wrong. I mean, that's a whole other conversation. But what I'm really trying to get at is the fact that whatever decision you make is still going to come with lessons that you need to learn. All paths that you choose to take contribute to your growth. And that's the beauty of it all, right? There's no... Every decision you make is still going to serve you in some way, shape, or form. So I do want to look into the Ancient Wisdom card because it's the first time I pull it and it's so beautiful. Nature is the perfect place to center yourself and ground out any excessive noise in your head. In nature, all the secrets of the universe are held, from the fiercest energy of a raging sea in a storm to the nurturing and loving energy of 100-year-old grove of trees. Get out in nature and listen to what she has to tell you. There is much to learn from nature. Trees just want to be trees. They are not trying to be boulders. Deer are deer. They accept that. Wolves are wolves. They know no other way. They do not try to get an extreme makeover to become a bear. This energy vibration can be so different than the human experience. It is pure love, non-judgment, and acceptance. When you tap into the ancient wisdom of the natural world, you find peace within yourselves. You get to know thyself. By drawing this card, you are being asked to come to peace with who you are and what you have to offer the situation. So I feel like a lot of what's going on in this coming week is just acceptance and surrender. Honestly, is kind of like what I'm getting at. It feels like some of you who may be watching this may have been feeling really triggered, or just like extra sensitive, or just like overwhelmed in some way, shape, or form. And we're just kind of being realigned here to turn inward and really remember our true nature. So the ancient wisdom that this card is referring to is the wisdom that is found in nature. So if you are able to go into nature, really go and allow yourself to experience nature this week. And for those of you who may live in areas where there's maybe not, hikes or oceans, or just like the nature that most of us think of, like even just a tree outside, or some trees like by the highway, or some grass, the dirt, all of that is nature. And so allow yourself to really observe the ways of nature, because as the booklet was saying, nature is just so accepting and so surrendering and so still and peaceful and just aligned. Every tree, every other living being that is not human is in alignment with their soul purpose and what it is that they are meant to be in this lifetime. And I feel like many of us need to be reminded of that, especially this week. And also just healing our ability to embody and be in joy, right? I feel like so many of us feel like we have to have certain circumstances in order to experience joy. But something that I've been thinking a lot about is just like, you can literally just be joyful simply because you are alive today. Honestly, you don't need more than that to have a reason to be joy, to feel joy. And I feel like that's something that a lot of us need to heal. So this is what we're focusing on healing this week. One is healing just our ability to tap into our true nature. I feel like us being called to go into, hermit mode, us being called to like really face the truth, us being called to remaining open to how life is unfolding, us being called to go into nature and really tap into ancient wisdom, is all of it is just calling us towards turning inward and really recognizing the truth of who we are, right? And so we have to heal that. We have to heal our inner knowing, and we have to heal our ability to tap into joy. And we also are healing unlimited possibilities, healing all the ways that we restrict ourselves from our expansiveness, from the abundance that is available to us. And I feel like us limiting ourselves is one way that we are forgetting our true nature, because our true nature is abundant. Our true nature is limitless. Our true nature is expansiveness and evolvement and transformation and transition and change. And the simple fact that so many of us are resistant to change is us not being in alignment with our truth, because our truth is that we are ever evolving, we are consistently changing, and that is our true nature. So y'all, this is a week where we get real with ourselves and who we really are, and really tapping into our spirit, right? we're not tapping into who we really are in society, who we really are in our jobs, in our titles, in how we define ourselves. We are tapping into our spiritual truths, who we really are in spirit, in soul, beyond this body temple, beyond this human experience, right? We are spirits first and foremost. We are energy first and foremost, experiencing a human experience. So this is that week where we really remember this, all of this. What do we focus on surrendering this week? 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 Universe. Okay, so these are the first two cards that jumped out. Oh, yep, there we go. There we go, y'all. Surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. So yes, this week it has become clear. It is all about acknowledging the truth of who you are and no longer placing these restrictions or limitations on yourself of who you think you are or who you think you should be, or just anything that brings limitations into your life and restricts you from the true nature of your expansiveness, your evolution, your ever-changing beingness. Like, it's outdated, right? We are really, all of these shifts and transitions and breakdowns to breakthroughs that are taking place are us essentially surrendering these outdated beliefs about ourselves, about how we should be living, about how things should be, about how society, just so many outdated beliefs are being detoxed from our lives, from our communities, from our societies, from our world. And we really have to practice that first and foremost without overwhelming ourselves about the whole world. First and foremost, we have to focus on healing these things, on really tapping into these things and practicing these things in our own lives. So in what ways have you held on to outdated beliefs about yourself? And this week, it's time to let that go. So let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. Then you can own your power and soar in your life. So ask yourself this week, like, what limiting ideas do I have of myself that originate from the past, that originate in fear, that originate from societal programming, that is also rooted in fear, that is rooted in suppressing me. Ask yourself those things so you can become aware of it and you can free yourself. We also got surrender to non-action. Now's the time to be still and not act. Simply breathe and focus on your own power. Let others come to you. So this is directly correlating to the first card that we got in this reading, which is a hermit, to retreat and recharge and to really just be still. So we're really, again, being called to turn inward and take time with ourselves, to be still, to tap in, and to remember who we are. What are affirmations for this week? What are our affirmations for this week? What are our affirmations for this week? What are our affirmations for this week? One more affirmation. What is our affirmation for this week? Maybe we only get one. What is our affirmation for this week? What is our affirmation for this week? So we've got, I am at peace with my age. So this seems like a very specific message to some of you who may be freaking out about your age, feeling like you're running out of time, feeling like you're not where you're meant to be, feeling like, all of these things that society makes us believe that at this certain age we should have this, at that age we should be like this. That's just not how it works. We're all in our own unique journeys. We're all living our own unique lives with our own unique paths and unfoldings and evolutions, and it's going to look different on everyone. The idea that we should all be married at a certain age, we should all have this amount of money at a certain age, we should all be stable, and like that is just so outdated. So it's not it, okay? But this is your affirmation for those of you who have been feeling some kind of anxiety, fear, or worry, or anything like that regarding your age. Each age has its own special joys and experiences. I am always the perfect age for where I am in my life. I love that. I am always the perfect age for where I am at in my life. And the other card that we got is a card that honestly comes up often in these weekly energy readings this year, and it's I balance my masculine and feminine sides. A lot of us coming into the truth of who we are is acknowledging that we have both femininity and masculinity, and we have to bring awareness to balancing both of those energies within us. So the masculine and feminine parts of me are in perfect balance and harmony. I am at peace and all is well. So my friends, this is our energy reading for this week. It seems like a very beautiful week to just really prioritize yourself, really be with yourself, and really hold space for yourself. Hold space for contemplation, for reflection. Tap back into those wellness practices, those rituals that, if any of you feel like you kind of fell off of your morning routine, your evening routine, things that make you feel good, get back into the swing of those things, get into the flow, and really just hold space for yourself. If you haven't allowed yourself to experience solitude, gift yourself that this week. And do not fear being alone with yourself, for you are truly the sweetest, most honorable company that you can ever be around. So I hope that this week really aligns you closer to yourself and to your truth, as that is what we are being called to align with. And I hope that you really do allow yourself to surrender outdated beliefs, not only about yourself, but about the world, about just all of this programming that we're really meant to unlearn and work on relearning these higher timelines of truth, of honesty, of realness, of ancient wisdom. So without further ado, y'all, I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so honored to share these messages with you. I hope you resonated with one or more of them. As always, I'm going to leave timestamps in the description below to make navigating this throughout the week easier for you. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Thank you all so much. Let's have a beautiful week and centered week ahead. Bye, y'all.